Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am Gracie Novacek, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Shenandoah Valley. We are a progressive congregation fueled with and connected by the spirit of goodness, justice, and love. Pierre Reverdy wrote, "There is no love. There are only proofs of love." I was completely struck by this when I heard it for the first time. I kept going around my house telling my husband to prove it. It really does transform "I love you" from something you say into something you are, woven into your character, present in everything you do. We don't come here on Sundays simply to recite our land and labor acknowledgement or name the 8 UU principles. We don't just say, "Love is the doctrine of this church." We aim to prove it. And that proving has already begun. You are here. That is the first proof of love for the day. The second proof can be the small, quiet act of silencing your cell phone so that the person beside you knows they have your full presence. On this new member Sunday, words are not enough. As we welcome new members into this community, we take on something more than language. We take on responsibility. The promise is not made once and then set aside. It is renewed in a continuous series of choices, small and large, made together every single day. And with that, it's time to honor our new members.
All right, good morning, all. And yes, this is always an exciting time to welcome our new members. And we will do that in just a moment. I just want to share with you our opening words this morning. We are Unitarian Universalists with minds that think, with hearts that love, and hands that are ready to serve. Together we care for our earth and work for friendship and peace in the world. So, we begin at the beginning, Michelle.
Thank you, Michael. How's this, Marty? Okay. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Michelle. I'm the membership chairperson for UUCSV. And welcome to New Member Sunday. The program is going to be short, and I'm going to begin with a poem, and then we will do the call and response together. And I would like to invite all of the new members to come up and stand at the pulpit. If you have joined since last spring, you are welcome to come up. And you can gather on both sides. Coming up.
And some people not here.
And some people are not here.
Eva has the flu.
And Eva has the flu. Libba, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, great. All right. Welcome, new members. You are welcomed here, where love is crafted beyond DNA, where the truest relatives are the ones who recognize and truly see you in your silence and sit beside it. The ones who show up not because they must, but because they want to. They remind you that family is not a matter of origin, but of presence. A family made of care, where love is not inherited. It is built by a promise to our shared community. Here, family is a verb, a daily chosen pledge. And love, the only ancestry we carry in our hearts.
Okay. So, the congregation will join in with this. You have your insert, and this is just our way of kind of coveting with you, and so we'll keep in mind those who couldn't make it this morning. But I got that power, baby. Anyway, that's the other. As a minister of this wonderful congregation, we are, really privileged to welcome you as new members of our growing community. And I don't think I'm going too far out on a limb to say that I not only speak for those who are here, but even for old members and members who are no longer with us, but communed with us in the past, and those who shall reap the benefits from our fellowship in the future.
We are eager to share our fellowship and our vision with you. We are strengthened and encouraged by the desire of these new members to join our congregation. I accept this membership to this congregation as a gift, as well as a responsibility. I affirm that I come here as a whole person, with weaknesses and strengths, hopes as well as needs.
This is a free church. It has no creed. It requires that every member think for him or herself about their own beliefs and to apply them to your lives. It is a congregation of all peoples and all faiths, and we welcome every seeker of truth and beauty, no matter whatever isms or class or yada yada. You are welcome. Doesn't matter.
We pledge ourselves to serve our community and all of the human family. We take pride in the freedom of the pulpit and the pew. We cherish and respect this. We need not think alike to love alike. We now affirm to you our commitment to you and our mutual embrace of freedom of vision, diversity of understanding, and unity of spirit. We commit to offering you within this religious community a safe place to explore and to discover your truth and to support the need to live. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to learn in love, and to bear witness in the world to the healing and transforming power of our community.
So let's give them and let's welcome them.
Okay. And to mark your new membership, we have our new rainbow chalice UU pins and I'll be taking orders. Okay, so I'm gonna pass these out and then join the community and we'll continue with our service. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you. make an announcement?
Morning, everybody. Wanted to give a quick update on our Canvas drive, which is finishing up week 2. This is hopefully our last week that we're asking folks to fill out their forms. If you've got a form in an email or in your mailbox or here at the church, please fill it out and drop it in the purple box out there. If you get it in before next Sunday, you will be entered in for one more ticket into this raffle for a $100 gift certificate for Black Mountain Restaurant. So very, very excited to have that drawing next Sunday, and hopefully we will have hit 100% of our goal. Right now, we are at 80% of our goal. So very, very good. I would love to have it at 100. There's approximately 32 people or 32 families that still have an outstanding card. So if you've not found the time to do it, please do it. Thanks so much.
Okay, we're going to get this. Please, please, wives. Please do that. Very good. Please rise as you are willing and able, and join in singing, joyful, joyful, we adore thee.
I'm going to put in a little 2-measure break in between verses so you can catch your breath.
Please be seated. All right. Our responsive reading is number 278 in the back of the gray hymnal, and we will read this responsive. It's called Blessed Are Those. 728. Yeah, 728. You got it?
Yes.
You got it in? I love you. Blessed are those. Blessed are those who yearn for deepening more than escape, who are not afraid to grow in spirit.
Blessed are those who take seriously the bonds of community, who regularly join celebration of our faith, who come as much to minister as to be ministered unto.
Blessed are those who bring their children, who invite their friends to come along to join in fellowship, service, learning, and growth.
Blessed are those who support the church and its work by regular sustaining and generous giving, and who give of themselves no less than the mind.
Blessed are those who know that the church is often imperfect, yet rather than harbor feelings of anger or disappointment, bring their concerns and needs to the attention of the church leaders.
Blessed are those who attach to serve, do it gladly, who realize that change is brought about through human being, who do the work of committees and stay with it.
Blessed are those who speak their minds in meetings. Oh my God. Yes, they are blessed indeed. Who can take and give criticism, who keep alive their sense of humor.
Blessed are those who know that the work of the church is the transformation of society, who have the vision of the love of the community transcending the present, and who do not shrink from controversy, sacrifice, or change.
Blessed are they indeed. Very good. This is the time in the service when we invite you to share a joy, a concern, a sorrow. We have the elements there, the water, the earth with the stones, and the fire. The air is there, and the floor is yours. I just want to do this because I'll forget absent-mindedly. Sue Stone and Jeff Stone, I spoke to them this morning, and Larry knows about this as well. She has and they gave permission, a perforated bowel. And she's going to be in admission for a minute. And he will get in touch with me and or Larry. There's a mass, that's the word they use, and they need to test that. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers, and Jeff will talk to me and or Larry, and we'll know about when she needs or if she needs visitors or wants visitors. But just send them that good energy, and we make this go away. All right? Okay. So the floor is yours. Anybody need this one? This stone is for those who, for whatever reason, decided not to come up. We keep you in our thoughts and prayers and hearts and minds. He has sent through your energy. And with the skillful doctors and healers, we can maybe do something about it. She's, he spent the night there last night, and this morning she was still under anesthesia, so she was resting. Okay. I want to share with you I thought this was apropos for today. It's called faith in existence. Just faith, just trusting. And so I'm going to ask you to center yourselves as you see fit. And afterwards we will have our time of quiet. In the blessed peace of this holy hour, we come together as a community of faith. Here we come to be fed, to drink the living waters, to feed at the table of tradition, to partake of the wisdom of our companions. The faith we share is not a commonality of belief, not the creedal precision that we have left behind, and it is certainly not the suspension of reason. The faith we share is a fundamental confidence in life itself, a basic trust in human existence, an affirmation in the worthwhileness of the human enterprise. Our faith is knowledge that there is more to life than eye can see and ear can hear, than thought alone can grasp. Our faith is an affirmation of our human capacity to respond to all that fate flings against us, and yet still proclaim to all we meet that life is good. Our faith is in the meaning of the past and the openness of the future as they meet in the eternal now, which is the eternal present. Our faith is in that great mystery of things in which we live and move and have our being. May we be faithful to the best that is in us, knowing how hard that is to do, and knowing that there is simply no other way to live faithfully. And now, while our minds are one for this brief moment, I will leave you with the eloquence of silence. And so it is. It's time for this morning's offering. What exactly do you believe? You believe there's another song. You believe that deep inside that there's another song. And then we'll go on because we believe. And that's it. I knew that. And I was testing as I do every Sunday. Please rise as you are willing and able and believe in hymn number 128. Believe it. For all that is our life.
we learn, for fearful hours at last, we come with grace and thanks. For all that is our For all that is our mind, we sing our thanks and praise. For all that is a gift, which we are called to use, to build a common good, and make our own ways.
As I was saying, what is it that we believe exactly? I must tell you, you'll probably not even know at the end of this, but I'll give you some things to think about. We cover many topics here at UUCSV when I'm in the pulpit: spirituality, politics, personal growth. Occasionally I will throw in a little metaphysics or existentialism just to make sure you're still awake. But yet, as a growing UU congregation, it's always good to go back to basics. And we have new folks who have joined, and even the old veterans. So I think it's appropriate to go over not all of the history, but some of the history, to remind each other why we are here and why we come together on Sundays. So with that in mind, on a basic level, what is it that we believe? Because we are all over the map in a lot of ways, but we do have a map, and at least I think so. About a year ago, you hear me mentioning that William James, because he's a pragmatist, and he began what we call pragmatism in the United States, this school of philosophical thought. I was reading yet another biography about him called William James in the Maelstrom of American Modernism. And the author is Robert D. Richardson. I commend it to you highly. He's done wonderful bios on Emerson and Thoreau. So I recommend the book to you. But anyway, in one chapter, the year is 1876. So America, we were still at war, especially out west with our First Nations people. That's the year that Custer made a grave mistake in Montana. So this is in 1876. One of James's friends said to him that if you attend a meeting with me, I will introduce you to the woman you ought to marry. So James goes along to the meeting, and he said it consisted of Unitarian ministers and liberal lay people formed to discuss the abolishing of all vestiges of supernaturalism in the Unitarian religion and finding ways to make the human religious experience more spiritual, unquote. So I'm not going to get into what is supernatural, and even if that is right or wrong, I mean, who knows? But the latter part of the statement rings true, especially if you are a Unitarian. Making the human religious experience more spiritual. Universalists were not mentioned in that chapter. So I want to begin with a little story. In 1923, the Reverend Norbert Capek, a Czechoslovakian Baptist minister, fled Prague during World War II. He returned to establish in the newly independent Czech nation the Czechoslovakian Unitarian Association. Reverend Capek was a gifted, charismatic religious personality whose earlier defense against the charges of heresy had led to an outspoken endorsement of the role of religious rationalism, democratic idealism, and cultural optimism. This new society was flourishing when Nazi thugs invaded Czechoslovakia in 1939. His outspoken opposition to tyranny, thought control, and book burnings made him an enemy of the state. Let's not forget also his defense of Jewish brothers and sisters who were being made lampshades and soap and gassed and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of this being highly frowned upon, his outspokenness led to his arrest in 1940. He was tried by the Nazis and sentenced to death for expressing ideas too dangerous to the right for him to be allowed to live. He died in the camp at Dachau in 1942. He was really the first Unitarian martyr of the modern era. I think it would be safe to say that. The flower communion service, which we do on Easter, Easter's coming, bring your flowers, was originated by Reverend Capek. I don't know, some accents on the front. Anyway, Reverend, let's say Capek. We do that in honor of him. We do that because of him, the flower communion. It's the one we use, and it's used all over the world. It's used all over the world in Unitarian Universalist churches, societies, fellowships, congregations. And of course, the flaming chalice symbol, developed by a Czech refugee, Hans Deutsch, has been adopted as a UU symbol in many countries. And even those pins that Michelle gave out were used back then. If you were walking down the street and someone saw you with it on your lapel, they kind of knew that you kind of rolled with them. The Nazis didn't know, which was the whole point. Another story goes like this. Confucius and Lao Tzu came face to face in the Imperial Library in the city of Luoyang, 500 years before the birth of the man we know as Jesus. For a brief moment, sparks fly, harsh words are exchanged between the two men. Remember, both of these men went on to become founders of great faith traditions. Confucius believed that in studying social and political affairs and searching history for clues, a better way of life could be found. Lao Tzu believed that one should disassociate oneself from worldly matters and only contemplate the divine way, the way of the Tao. He says one should contemplate the meaning of death and the way of the divine. This is Lao Tzu. Confucius says, how can one know anything about death when we know so little about life? Those who would teach of the gods are often ignorant of human ways. You know, looking back, it's like, y'all could have split the difference. But I had the advantage of being born in this time and place. Stay with me now. I want you to listen to the words of Thomas Paine, who wrote The Age of Reason. So I'm going to be using his words, you know. Wasn't so universal, men and women. It's always man, mankind, the brotherhood of man. But you get my point. Roosevelt referred to Thomas Paine as that dirty little atheist. Paine wrote, I believe in one God and no more, and I hope for happiness beyond this life. I believe in the equality of man, and I believe that religious duties consist in doing justice, loving mercy, and endeavoring to make our fellow creatures happy. But lest it should be supposed that I believe in many other things, in addition to these, I shall in the progress of this work declare the things I do not believe in, and my reasons for not believing them. I do not believe in the creed professed by the Jewish tradition, by the Roman Church, by the Greek Church, by the Turkish Church, by the Protestant Church, nor by any church that I know of. My mind is my own church. I do not mean by this declaration to condemn those who believe otherwise. They have their right to their belief as I have to mine. But it is necessary to the happiness of man that he be mentally faithful to himself. Infidelity does not consist in believing or in disbelieving. It consists in professing to believe what one does not believe. Liberal religious thinkers, you and I, are wary of the dangers inherent in ill-founded and self-deceptive beliefs that are simply meaningless phrases repetitiously recited from one generation to the next. Many religious liberals approach the topic of belief with great hesitancy and even with doubt. Can one believe free of dogmatism? We have experienced and or read about the history of religious belief which stymies creative thought. Uncritical faith is anathema to the intellect. The unexamined faith is not worth having, and yet the intellect is not all there is. Dr. Harry Emerson Fosdick weighs in and using the thought, the word of his time, so not as inclusive as we'd like it to be, but here it is. Better to believe in no God than to believe in a cruel God, a tribal God, a sectarian God. If the God a man believes in is small and mean, the more intensely he holds his belief and cultivates it, the small and meaner he will be. Men have believed in a cruel God who will send a large part of the human race to an endless hell, and by this belief, all of their own cruelty was confirmed. End quote. Now, one can argue that many of us as religious liberals have not given sufficient thought to what we believe, and this is why I encourage you. You know, and some of you, when you come to my office or whatever, I'll ask you, what do you believe? And that doesn't, I'm not trying to lock you in because you evolve, you change. But you gotta believe in something. And so often it's easy for us to say what we don't believe in. You don't always want to define yourself in the negative. We recite here no dogmatic creed. We have no finished faith, once that's revealed and now neatly packaged and signed and sealed and delivered. We don't have that, nor do we really want that. But we are in danger of going in the opposite extreme, being hopelessly vague about what it is that we do believe. Perhaps we might realize that our need is not really to find something to believe in, but rather to discover what our lives indicate that we believe in right now. Right now. And so that is the place to start, right now. Here's some things you may want to use. What did you enjoy most about the day just lived? Try it tonight. What did you enjoy most about the day? How did we spend our time? How did we feel about ourselves at the end of the day? Do we like the kind of person, the kind of people we are? What do we worry about? What are we afraid of? What do we hope for? How do we feel about our parents, partners, spouse, children, neighbors, the school, the town, the country? Perhaps we might want to ask these questions to look at our attitudes and our convictions or our way of life. To look at these things is to find out what you actually believe. The other way is just count the hours of what you spent the most time doing And then you'll know at the end of the year what your God is. Most of what we learn from living. And for the larger part, that means we learn from other people. Nor does it mean only from people that we like. This means that there is the combination of the intellect, our involuntary will, our social experience, and the emotional reaction involved in the area of development of our area of faith. In the present day, we know that there are many who take the world much too seriously. You ever been around someone who they're just serious all the time, right? It's hard to be around. Either they take themselves too seriously, or they can't laugh, or they take life too seriously. As philosopher Alan Watts so aptly puts it, human beings suffer because we take seriously what the gods made for fun. For fun. This taking life and the world too seriously is the cause of much of what we label neuroticism. Watt also says that true religion turns anxiety into laughter. Many years ago, when I think I mentioned this last week, so I won't go too much into it, when I took seriously my call to ministry, because there's some things you have to take seriously, I was in a metaphysical church, and it was a New Thought church, called it back then religious science. And so the minister asked us to try something, and in the morning before, he said before he came to church, and I started doing it, he would watch other evangelists preaching. And, and just to keep the sound down. And he said that if the word gospel meant good news, these clergy seldom ever had it. They looked like I said last week, like they caught themselves in their zipper. They were in pain and they were scrunched up and they were accusatory. And it was like, whoa, is this where we really want to go? They were usually yelling or chastising the congregation about some biblical laws that were broken that they probably broke the night before as well. So I started doing that, and lo and behold, he was right. There was mostly men on TV at the time, and they just looked so unhappy. They looked so anti-life. To take the world seriously is one thing. To separate religion into churchianity or to a church practice and the holding of views one could not possibly live by in daily life is another. And this leads to what I call bad theology. It's all around us. Wars are being fought because of it. And there's always the oil and the greed, and that's always there. But there's always religion involved. And I don't say that, I want to be clear, because I know I hear people, my conservative friends, who are maybe on one hand now because of what I say, but I want to be clear. The United States says that we want to keep church and state separated. And I think that's a good idea, but it has yet to happen. Do not kid yourself. All religion is politics. You pick up a Bible, Jesus is what? Lord, King. There's King David. There's the Pharaoh, right? There's King Solomon. Those are never separated, ever, in Western culture. The thing is that I can deal with that. I can. But you can have a healthy theology. You can. The Greeks tried to do it. They got it from the Egyptians. That's what Plato was talking about. But he was too elitist. It would just be the well-educated and the philosophers. That's where the term philosopher king comes from. That you have the wisdom of the philosopher, but you also have the royalty. Now, we can't have that either. You got to find a middle ground. But when someone tells you, why are you bringing politics up in religion? Tell them to look in the Bible. It's all there. Talking about Western culture now. We could argue in the East too. But it's always been part of politics. Always. It's just where's the right balance? A lot of you have left Orthodox Christianity. When you hear words like Lord and King, boy, that gets you a little nervous. You see. So anyway, I digress. But this is bad theology. It's an unhealthy and toxic view of the world. Much of religion in our day is compartmentalized into this religion. We need oil, right? I mean, but these people are trying to make Jesus come back. Now, that's humorous. You know that, right? You've been keeping up with it, right? You want to talk about a control freak. And so there's always religion. It's always there. It's always there. Don't kid yourself. So we say as UUs that there's a healthy way to have religion. There's a healthy way to have spirituality. That's what we're after. That's what we're after. We're tired of people who act one way on Sunday and then don't, the rest of the week it's a free-for-all. That's what's turning people away from the church. The hypocrisy. But to live religiously is the prophetic risk of the Unitarian Universalists. And for those of you who are not religious, to live like a human being. Like there's some things that do matter. That it means as though there are values in life and that we will create them through the experience in our lives and we will express those values. It's to live with what? It's to live in dignity and integrity. UU Vincent Silliman, it's in our hymnal, don't turn to it. He has a reading, it's called number 466. It's simply titled Religion. Let religion be to us life and joy. Let religion be to us a dissatisfaction with things that are, which bids us serve more eagerly the what? The true and the right. Let religion be to us the wonder and lure of that which is only partly known and understood. We live in mystery. We're comfortable with mystery. I don't know if there's life after death. I kind of think it is. But I don't mean you need to believe that. I don't know. Sure, I'm hoping it is. Let religion be to us security and serenity because of its truth and beauty and because of the enduring worth and power of the loyalties which it engenders. Religion uniting us with all that is what? Admirable in human beings everywhere. In Tehran, in Black Mountain, in Old Fort, wherever y'all go, Asheville, everywhere. Theodore Sorensen, you remember him? He was a UU. He was a special assistant to the late President John F. Kennedy. He summed up the faith of Unitarian Universalism this way. Our churches he's talking about. Its faith is expressed in its purpose and spirit rather than in a creed or a set of beliefs, which the individual is free to shape for him or herself. Our central purpose can be summed up as follows: to seek and welcome the truths of life, old and new, since the past must always prove itself anew, and a living religion must change as thought advances and must be free to grow, right? We don't do child sacrifice anymore. Oh, thanks. We don't. Epstein does it, but we do. We do child sacrifice. But we're growing. We're learning. To seek and welcome the truths of life, old and new, since the past must always prove itself anew, and a living religion must change and grow. To respect each other and in all persons, the authority of the individual conscience and the freedom of the mind, since the human spirit is guided from where? Within. I call that the heart. You can call it what you want. to discover and advance the world unifying faith, revealed in the deeper insights of all religions and derived from the wisdom and all cultures. Remember, Howard Thurman says that what truth you find in religion is there because it's true. It's not true just because it's found in the religion. To utilize for man's advancing life all available knowledge from every field of human endeavor and exploration into the unknown, to uphold respect for all persons and the equal rights of all human beings, and to share the benefits of what? Civilized life, and to contribute to the common life. His words are valuable here because they stress purpose and spirit as opposed to creed and doctrine. We don't get together here on Sundays for the glory of God. Some say we're not really a church, and some of our members would be happier even if we didn't use the word. But as I remind you that we are more than just a bunch of liberals getting together and just sitting around talking. We are more than an intellectual debating society. Are we not? We are attempting to maintain a religious establishment for the unestablished, to build an organization for the anti-organizational person, to maintain a church for free spirits and free thinkers. Some people think that Unitarian Universalism is something new, and it is. There were people who thought, like we did, they didn't call it Universalism or Unitarianism, way back. They were the Council of Nicaea, for instance, there were people who said there's one God. There's no Trinity. That's a very weird mathematical formula. But then if you said it loud, you could wind up not making it home in the evening. So people said, okay, I give you the floor. And when you get around your friends, then you say, oh, it's better than having your head cut off. There were people, Arius believed in one God, and he believed that Jesus was not God in the sense of any God in him was in each and every one of us. And that's what he said. He said that. But you couldn't say that back then. Probably couldn't say it now in some places. During the Protestant Reformation, Michael Servetus rejected the doctrine of the Trinity. He had the nerve to say that there were probably life on other planets, and he promoted the unity of God, and they hung him upside down at a stake and cut his tongue out and burned his books. It would be dangerous. But that's our history. We have our martyrs. We have people who sacrificed that we could be here. A man by the name of John Calvin took Servetus' life for heresy. Unitarianism is born from the Enlightenment. Let's recall that John Mary, the founder of Universalism, was said, not accurately, to have been a deist. And when other chaplains petitioned General Washington to remove him as a heretic from the service as chaplain in the Continental Army of the United States, General Washington, who was a deist, responded by promoting John Mary to the regimental supervising chaplain over the very men who had complained of the heresy. See, I love when that happens in life. Life has a sense of humor and a sense of irony. So anyway, this is just a touch of the basis for which we believe, of what we believe as you use. We encourage you to walk your trail, and if there is no trail, we encourage you to make one for yourself and for others to follow. UUs are folks who attend church, congregation, society, or fellowship where everyone does not think alike, but all alike think. We're not afraid to feel, most of the time. Love is a feeling as well as a verb, and so we don't have to think alike to love alike. We encourage you, new members and veterans, to seek and to find answers for yourselves, for in this seeking and finding, you will discover your authentic self, and you'll be what? You'll be free. And nobody can take that from you unless you give it away. That is what Unitarian Universalists believe. May it always be so. Amen. I'm sure. Our last hymn this morning. Closing hymn. Number 163. After all that, we have to give thanks to Mother Earth. For the earth forever turning. Number 163.
For the seasons harmony, for our lives, for all creation, sing we our joyful praise to thee. For the world we raise our voices, for the home that gives us birth. In our joy we sing, returning home to our blue green hills.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Live simply, live gently at home in yourselves. Speak the truth, or don't open your mouth. Crave peace for all people in the world, beginning with yourselves. And go as you go, with the dream of that peace alive in your heart. Have a wonderful afternoon.